Right, we're moving on to the cricket, and the Aussies are back in town. 3 T20s against the Aussies are followed by 5 one-day internationals, with England looking for some positive signs after poor performances in the T20 and 50 over World Cups recently. Marcus Trescothick will act as interim coach throughout the series following the departure of Matthew Mott earlier in the summer. How will England fare? Well, let's ask the man in the know. It's 2010 T20 World Cup winner, Mr. Silly. It's Graeme Swann. Swanee, how are you?
Boys, I love
Graeme.
this chat about the Mr. Men. I know, Gabby, you can't remember the Mr. Men. Being a footballer, you probably didn't read many books.
Exactly.
I absolutely love the Mr. Men. We used to have our captain at Notts, Stephen Fleming, who's now a world super coach. He had the longest arms you've ever seen. So he was Mr. Tickle. He could reach a biscuit from his without getting out of bed in the morning. The greatest books in the world.
Magic Swanee. Right, on to cricketing matters, right? Never mind the West Indies, right? Never mind Sri Lanka. We're back with the Aussies tonight. When we love a bit of Aussies, how's it going to go?
Yeah, well, I think it's probably a good time to play them. It's just turned absolutely Baltic. It's freezing cold here in the north. I've just walked my dog and I've got 5 layers on. So a good time to play Australia, who don't do well outside of the sunshine. We've got a new coach, you know, that bounce back. Matthew Mott's not there.
Yeah.
Trescothick taking over. That should inspire the players, because they've not been inspired. The one-day team for a while has been very timid, in my opinion. They don't play like the Test team, who, as we've seen this week, play like Mavericks sometimes, but it's brilliant to watch. I think Trescothick going from the Test side into the one-days, I think that will inspire the players. So I'm predicting a healthy and hearty England victory.
I wanted to ask you, Graeme, you know, we hear footballers are moaning about the amount of games. Do you think that the same with cricket? Is there too much cricket for the players now?
No, I don't actually. There's very few guys now who play in all 3 formats. Who play T20 Test cricket and one-day cricket.
Okay.
The cricket, especially England cricketers, once you're on full contracts, you play all year round. You get really good money playing for England all year round. If you choose to then go and play franchise cricket in your month off or in your couple of weeks off, I don't think you've really got any leg to stand on when you turn around and say, we play too much cricket. I have heard in the county system a lot of current players saying that they play too much, there's too much travel. Players aren't really the ideal people to ask, because these guys these days get paid 10 times more and have it absolutely easy compared to we do. So I've turned into my dad recently. I say, no, they don't play enough. It's an entertainment sport. As soon as your players start moaning about playing, footballers, I can understand a bit. You know, Messi playing 75 games last year. Football's hard work, physically. Cricket, let's face it, come on. You're skipping around in the park half the time.
Brilliant, Swanee. I turned into, just for the record, I turned into my dad about 15 years ago, mate. Now, listen, talk me through the T20 squads. Obviously, Josh Butler not there. From the Australians' point of view, I think Pat Cummins has been rested. Mitchell Marsh taking control.
Yeah, so it's a little bit sort of the B team, isn't it? Well, I say the B team. It's mostly the main players, but with other people in charge, which is a great actual position to be in, because for the guys coming in, stepping in charge, it's almost like you can make your marker, can't you? You can almost say, well, I'm doing better now than the main guy when he comes back. Yeah. So I still think, you know, Mitch Marsh is actually very good. He won Australia the T20 a couple of years back. This still hurts to say, by the way.
Yeah,
I still begrudgingly congratulate Australia. Have you ever seen that Netflix documentary on the Aussie team?
Watched it.
My word, did they know the cameras were there?
Yeah.
Because I know all those blokes outside of that, and none of them behave like that. Oh, never mind. But yeah, so I mean, he's a good cricketer. He'll lead okay, but I still think this time of year in England, the Aussies have to fly a long way to play a one-day series. It's not the Ashes. No matter how much we try and build it up, you're not going to have the same sort of media hype and crowds there. So it's going to be good. A great time, for England to play them and beat them heavily.
Going back to the Australian players then, what are they really like?
I don't know. So if you're playing for Villa and you're playing against Birmingham City, basically, the Aussies are definitely one of the 2 teams and you're on the other side. That's all I'll put it. We don't get on the field at all. You know, on their own, Aussies are actually top blokes. It's just when you put them together.
I love it, Swanee. Listen, the T20 and 50 over form of England has slipped, shall we say, kind of dramatically. Is any of that down to the departure of Owen Morgan?
I think a lot of it was. Owen Morgan was this sort of dynamic leader we had sort of out of nowhere, who transformed our one-day team, and he did an incredible job. We suddenly became world leaders in both T20 and one-day cricket for 2 or 3 years. Everybody caught up, and then when Morgie finished, we still had a bit of a bounce from that and won the T20 in Australia when Joss Buttler took over. But I think without that sort of dynamic leadership from Morgie, and I'm not having a pop with Joss Buttler here, but he's just not the natural leader that Owen Morgan was. We haven't had a natural leader in white ball cricket like Owen Morgan before or since. We have. I think we've slipped back a little bit. We've gone a bit timid, and we need to get our angry dog back in our cricket. I think just to get back out there and show that we're trying to lead world cricket again rather than catch up.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Swanee, as always, great to talk to you, pal. Hopefully catch up soon.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Hey, Mr. Mischief.
Take care, mate. Now, coming up, we had a discussion earlier on about Ben White. Should he ever play for England again? Ooh. I think we're not going to regurgitate. I wouldn't have thought so.
Is Shaban still hit? Can we get it back?
No. Right,
he's just about to get in the tubes. He'll come back, Ali.
We're not going to regurgitate it. It'd be embarrassing to regurgitate it. Stay with us.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.